Hi guys, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. I've had a little break over the summer period. Some of you may have seen I sold a chunk of my business. I'm very fortunate that I run a global coaching business now, that I can do that from anywhere. So I've been super busy. We went through the exit. That was one hell of an experience, which I'm going to talk about in this video. I'm back on YouTube now. I'm back giving you videos. I'm back giving you advice and back sharing my experience in recruitment, my experience in entrepreneurship, my experience as a business owner. So what I thought I'd do just to kickstart this return to YouTube is just to talk to you about how I sold my business via MBO. Now, MBO stands for Management Buyout. Now, people always ask me, how did you sell the business? And the truth is, I actually wanted to sell the business through Management Buyout. And what I want to do now is I want to tell you how I did it, why I did it, and what I've learned from the process. I've been running this business for 10 years in Asia. We'd had highs, we'd had plenty of lows, and at different points we'd grown, we'd shrunk, we rebuilt. But I knew it was coming to a stage where I wanted to pivot into new chapters. The global coaching business, personal brand advisory, they've really taken up a lot of my time and I love them. And I'm also quite involved in the Middle East business, where I'm sort of the figurehead of both the Dubai and the Saudi business. I looked at what I had on my plate. I looked at where I could probably add the most value, and the Asia business really was an opportunity for me to exit. I wasn't involved in the day-to-day of the Asia business as well, and I would say that to any founder that's looking to sell their business. If you are bolted into that business, if that business can only operate where you are a part of it, you're never going to be able to sell it. I was fortunate that I wasn't involved in my Asia business. I had an ex-business partner that left, Adam. I had a new partner that joined in Charlie. Charlie was the same age as me when I set up MCG Talent. I knew that he was at the great stage to build the business and to take that business on, and I felt like it was the right time for me to leave. So why an MBO? Now, I could have gone to market, I could have sold to a competitor, I could have tried, various different ways to sell the business, but the reality was that would have meant months of disruption, uncertainty, NDAs, endless negotiations. And an MBO is actually quite different. You sell to your own team, the people who've been in the trenches with you. They already know the clients, the processes, the brand. And for me, that meant continuity, which was extraordinarily important to me in this process. I felt very passionate about the fact that I wanted continuity in the business. The business could keep running, the team had ownership, and I could free myself up very easily as I wasn't involved in the day-to-day without killing what I'd built. Here's how I'd structured it. I kept it simple. We agreed a price that reflected the value of the business in that region, and we structured payments over a period of time. And we locked in continuity so that the brand and clients weren't disrupted. We made a big announcement on LinkedIn, and the joy of this process was there's no middle person, no banker, just straight conversations with people I trusted. Of course, the lawyers did get involved. Of course, there is scrutiny on numbers. Of course, there is various elements that you need to discuss and work out how you're going to get through, and you have to lock in a price as well. For me, the really interesting part of the deal was I locked in a price. I had some cash that I could a good chunk of cash that I could take out. And the nice thing about this deal as well is that they've kept the name. And there's involved within the price is the ability to keep the name, keep the staff, keep the operations staff, keep the marketing team still operating in that. So really, there's a great deal of continuity that went through on this deal. The best thing about this has been the legacy element, and I didn't have to watch something that I built with my previous business partner get ripped apart, rebranded into something unrecognizable. The people I'd worked with got their chance to step up to own it, and that's so important to me. And personally, I got freedom to double down on the golf, freedom to build my new businesses, freedom to create without being tied to the day-to-day operations there. So here's some of the lessons that I've learned. The biggest lesson is this: don't be scared to make changes when you feel the time is right. Businesses evolve, founders evolve, and sometimes the bravest move is to let go and also understand when the time is right to sell your business. I really knew in my heart of hearts, a few months ago, and it was when the last trip that I did to Singapore, that it was the time to sell, and it was fantastic that I could get such a good price for it. It was fantastic that the deal could work so well, and the MBO really was the cleanest and most respectful way to do that. And it was in a way where I'm still involved in the business because I'm still mentoring the person that's taken it on in Charlie. So it's not a complete disconnect. I get to enjoy obviously the financial rewards of selling a business, but also have the pleasure of still being involved in it as well. So that's how I sold my business through an MBO. It wasn't about chasing necessarily the highest bidder. We got a really good price that I was happy with. It was about doing what was right for the business as well. The team and also, of course, for me and my family. So if you're a founder thinking about exits, don't underestimate this route. And if you want to hear more about how I build and scale and sometimes sell businesses, subscribe to the channel, and there'll be plenty more about this to come. And if you're really interested in how to build a business that's set for an MBO, just drop me a message, hit me up on LinkedIn, and we can actually have a conversation. I can talk to you a bit more in detail about that.